Mark, reports today that Benjamin Netanyahu may come to Washington, meet with the president, and do a shared, I call it a victory lap, but an acknowledgement
Yeah.
of the
Very much.
acknowledgement of the mission. And CNN reported today, and maybe you and others have matched it. I just saw it on CNN.
I didn't.
That there's sort of the outlines of what Witkoff has been discussing. That story surprised me. Pretty detailed, and I hadn't seen it elsewhere. Do you get a sense of what Witkoff is doing? Is he poised to go abroad, or is he in regular contact with the Iranians? Do you have any idea?
He is in contact with the Iranians. I can't say how often, but Donald Trump is certainly committed to the peace process. And what CNN has reported is he's offering to unfreeze $6 billion in Iranian assets. And I can't remember how many millions of dollars that he'd throw on top of that. And it's pretty surprising because it sounds a lot like what Obama had agreed to back in the day. I cannot remember when the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, was passed. Was it 2015, 2012? So it's 15. And it's a pretty remarkable thing. We'll put aside the debate over the, Democrats are just taking great umbrage of this idea, like, oh my God, the hypocrisy. I would imagine that if this is true, and I haven't confirmed it, the Trump White House position is going to be, well, the landscape is entirely different. We've done something, to Jim's point, that no one's done since the Iranian Revolution in 1979. We've just cowed the Iranians, and they're ready to come to the table. But, this might be fog of war stuff. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So on that point, here's Caroline Leavitt, number 6, trying to make the contrast between the Obama-Biden posture towards Iran and what President Trump has done. Number 6, please.
The Iranian regime was weeks away from being able to produce a nuclear weapon that would threaten the entire world before President Trump took this decisive action on Saturday night to obliterate their nuclear capabilities. The contrast in leadership could not be more clear. Barack Obama and Joe Biden sent pallets of cash, American taxpayer dollars, in a failed attempt to buy the Iranian regime's compliance with a weak and ineffective deal. President Trump sent a fleet of American warplanes to destroy Iran's ability to produce a nuclear weapon. The United States and the entire world are safer because of this president's decisiveness. Despite agenda-driven leaks by the fake news media aimed at undermining this incredible accomplishment achieved by President Trump and our brave fighter pilots, there is broad consensus emerging already that Iran's nuclear capabilities were indeed destroyed. The United States, Israel, the United Nations, and even Iran all agree they can no longer build a nuclear weapon. So why did the president immediately turn to obliterating after the Iranian nuclear threat? Securing peace. Within 48 hours of the devastating strike, President Trump and his team brokered a historic ceasefire between Israel and Iran and officially ended the 12-day war. The Middle East is now shifting away from chaos and bloodshed and moving toward the beginning stages of a new era of peace and stability that President Trump has long called on them to achieve. This was unthinkable at this time last week, and this is what peace through strength looks like.
Okay, Pastor Jackson, my colleague Sean Spicer from the morning meeting says, in effect, I'm paraphrasing, the Iranians are no more trustworthy as negotiating partners just because they were bombed, and that he's still skeptical of a deal. Caroline Leavitt seems to be saying, and the president seems to be saying, now that they've been bombed, now that they're on their back foot, now that we've eliminated and Israel's eliminated some of their human assets and capability, a deal is feasible. What do you think of that debate?
Well, it's a fascinating question. I think a deal is probably feasible because of the desperate condition of the current regime in Iran. But I think Sean Spicer has a point. I mean, Peter Drucker famously said that the best indicator of future performance is past performance. And we have a long history with Iran of not keeping their word or maintaining the deals they make if it suits their purposes to ignore them. So I think that old narrative of trust but verify is going to be required. I'm grateful that their nuclear ambitions seem to have been limited, but I don't think they've lost their desire to destroy Israel and harm America. So I think whatever deal is struck has to be one that is monitored and paid attention to.
Yeah.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well,
Easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.